Inside the program, we want to continue the conversation as the peace dialogue still on, and they're going at the Bintumani Conference Center in Freetown. And all parties currently in Bintumani to discuss the way forward for Sierra Leone. And today, day 2 of the dialogue. Yesterday, day 1, today, day 2, and tomorrow will be the final day of the dialogue between the government of Sierra Leone and the All People's Congress APC party. One for look at service delivery, very important, and the significant role, more especially members of parliament, play, with regards to all of these issues, the APC members and go back to parliament. So now the studio get to me, William Saolamin, now the executive director for accountability now and national coordinator for service delivery CSO. Hopefully, I will join by Melvin Tijan Mansare, a parliamentary correspondent as well. Welcome to the show, William Saolamin.
Yeah, thank you. Good afternoon, and thank you for having me.
And I want to bring you in the area of service delivery. And all of this will happen, both parties say, and if as a country we don't come together, forget peace and national cohesion, and able for succeeding to the dialogue, and service delivery not go for deliver, more especially the president in flagship program when our Fit Salon we officially launched yesterday. We get issues about electricity, we get water, we get food, we get other issues that were very relevant, for the sustainability of citizens. And because of this political issue, all of them things, and they seem for the staff, we not seem for to see any headway into them. But what in this dialogue will bring in table if we get a right with regards to service delivery?
Yeah, thank you very much, Remy. I think one of the first things with the dialogue then for look at the broader picture. Then for look first at Mama Saloon. The Saloon then for look at first. Then for look at the people of Sierra Leone, the two parties. Then for say and say yes, this discussion will go pan, not to personal thing they can go, personal interest will go for good discussion. But a saloon in business, that would go sit down and discuss. Because one of the things that would make the dialogue not going to be successful at the end of the day, now when people then begin to take them personal things, then can go at the dialogue for good discuss. At the end of the day, the dialogue not will be fruitful. Because we get a lot of issues as you rightly measure. Get for do with education, get for do with health, get for do with the agriculture sector. They talk about where the president been saying Pujong, the implementation of all of them projects and activities. If the APC were the main opposition, not in a parliament, and not they take office at the councils when they win, then there is going to be a stock down in the entire governance process. We know say Salon don't come into democracy for decades of years now, about 3 or more decades now. We talk about democracy. And having that democracy, now we get the government, where they empower, they run, you get the main opposition and other opposition parties. They're all a part of governance. So, but if the APC not too pleased, then get issues when they want for bring come out, for make them sit down and dialogue. Wait, man, talk dialogue. Law sit down, law we talk. We they say as civil society, if it be a genuine dialogue, if it be a dialogue, way for put saloon number 1, and every Sierra Leonean for now, whether a day or then at the diaspora, they focus now on this dialogue because it's like we don't want to sit down strike. Nothing more to happen. We don't see much on service delivery. The Vice President don't go around, they inaugurate chairmen and mayors, now some other areas, but they see some other areas they still not start to operate it. And governance, no, they do so. If some other set of people say they work, you go for stock down everything. Because one agricultural business, they happen now, Pujong district, for example, if it happen now all over other 15 districts, including Pujong. But if you just get few districts, we go for talk about agriculture, and some other one go say, no, me not interested. Because the government go ready for disburse money for local councils because we are talking about decentralization. You know, go talk about decentralization. Usai, you see councils that actually then at the forefront when are them there with the community people and face to face. So in all of this, we they beg them, make them accept, and make them come back. Whatever they put on the table, make them put saloon first. Because if they not put saloon first, me believe say the dialogue not going to be meaningless.
The general aspect of, within the two political parties, whether from the opposition and also from the government, obviously everybody get for presents their own take. And whether it's only the APC get for presents, but also the government get for say, no, this waiting I present, we're not going to look into them. It's important, but let we left first, let we pay attention to this and see which one cable for help development. And the key focus of the government now foresee the opposition go back na parliament, discuss issues of national interest, and go back na councils so that they go involve into national development. And the councils get a pivotal role for play because then directly they deal with communities, and then communities and currently there's no development, and things seem for they go bad in communities. Imagine there are a lot of rains we don't come within this period, we see communities and they flood. And electricity not seem for the communities there. Water not seem for the communities there. Healthcare facility not seem for the communities there. And what are the channel they want in the councillors them? But if the councils not they operate, then they seem for the affect day to the warning of them people who live in the communities in life and even governance life as well. But what do you think say need for be done at this moment so that while the dialogue the guns in at the two, for the opposition, they understand, for the government, they understand, say, these are the people that needs them. We forsake the interest of the people. So by the time we end the three tomorrow, we don't come into conclusion and say, okay, now we all forsake the interest of the people. Let we go back to parliament, let we go back to council, government. This we can do for ensure, say, the APC said demand be looking to.
Now campaigns then they own. Na communities for head men and head women. And most of them play auditing up, so they all come up from various political parties. May worry now, on the 28th of this very month, October, they going to announce the winners them. The election going to take place on the 28th, and then going to announce. Now, if you appear now, say me they appear on APC, when I vote for me, then you end up for win. Then they win, they say, no, me, I need to go, okay, the party don't tell me, say, no. Then why they even campaign now? Then why they even go register, as somebody want to be head man or head woman? So people are just confused about what they happen right now. Now I can emphasize, in that dialogue, if we not put Salon first, then it's just a waste of time. We get some people who don't come from outside Sierra Leone. Some people get for days, some man don't put some document together, put time, energy, and even finances for ensure say this dialogue all water. You understand? You talk about development programs that we're for kickoff. They're not going for kickoff if you don't get all the political parties on board. If you don't get the local councils, they're not on board. Development not get for go on. I tell you for free, Remy, the economic crisis, the global crisis, they hit Salon. But for the past, after the election now, the political crisis, they hit Salon past even the general, the global one we talk about. Because, as I say, if, for example, McKinney, if the mayor not go work like McKinney, there are people in McKinney who have been contractors, where the council, they give them contract for carry out services, for build schools, for dig water well, and other things. If the mayor not go, how the council for run? How they contractors them? We're supposed to get contract. How they go able for run their own personal business? They don't register with government. They have staffs. They don't rent office space, and then a strong partner with that particular council providing services. Council they give them contract. If that particular businessman they 1 month, 2 months, 4 months, and not get no contract, and not get no money. Mind you, so many people in get for suffer. In business way, they don't get for suffer. In Pekin and old school suffer, the workers of that particular company or that service delivery institution get for suffer. NRA, where that company is supposed to pay tax to, NRA go get for suffer. So now that I want to let people get on their mind and really rethink, and put Salon first. All over the world, even in America, then they announce result, people in the cry foul. All over the world, there is always a foul. But when election on done, law now concentrate on development, right? Whose election they will know but not talk saying I win? All the elections all get sense. For over how many years where democracy don't come back from Tijan Kaba in time? There is no way they don't announce result. Every carry for smart that election say I winner. You understand? At any given time, the opposition will say no, I win election. And no one they be at this country. The announced result, the opposition tells you, no, I lost. A month tells you, I win the election. Pass after a month or two, that begin go down small. The government or the party will win, begin encourage the one that we lost. The one that we lost, say congratulations to the one that we win, and then the country begin for move. But if you say they take 5 years, you need to come back for run that office, for go back to parliament. Now some of we become determined. Now they have to get about 42 female parliamentarians. To me, maybe not the very first time that happened. We organization be don't determine for work with them parliamentarians there. But some of them did not APC. They're not going for go up to now. Now how we move this country? So we are stuck down. Not just the international global thing we talk about, the economic situation all over the world, but now we are stuck down because the opposition not ready for work. So we they beg them. They are Sierra Leoneans. Let us see Sierra Leone put now the broader picture. Let us take Sierra Leone put number one. If we not put Sierra Leone number one, we go continue for say no, now we win and we not agree. We go let we not agree take 5 years done.
But why somebody asked me this question sometimes back. He say, why we not seeing for the expected legacy of late Solobi?
Thank you.
And after, imagine incumbents, and then, you the one way you want for succeed, give you assurance and even give you card, congratulating card, and say, but you don't win the election. And then the results after I call, they against you, they're in favor of you.
So be in kind, Remy. We get her now and we'll get forget and quick. So be. Some of we been pray if God can get away for reduce the age back, make it not old that much it and even die. You understand? Because that man, me, tell and grave self, I respect him for being a statesman. Because if you know the kind of support, we will be the monitor the political parties the way they do campaign. So be enter na every little town in this country. Not for talk about cheap the headquarter town. If they use vehicle, they put light on. Now the headlight then they use for whole meeting. For make sure say it cover the entire country. A campaign at that age for make a win the election. At the end of the day, they lost. In fact, so many people been just wait for make a talk say no, we not agree. One guy statement say we not agree. All man they jump in the street. But they accept, they lose. You understand? They accept, and they go sit down quiet. For most of the people go sit down. It been very rare when you lost that election. For hearing voice on the radio, it just go sit down and forget about politics totally. It go sit down quiet. They don't clear cook small per man, he eat. They make it laugh, he eat. They enjoy life. You understand? But the situation they are now, things are getting harder every day on a very serious note. So we're happy about the dialogue, and we hope and pray say there will be a fruitful discussion where we contribute for moving in.
And I just something seemed for the catch my attention into Solobi. Because I remember the last step, and after people be say die, and they be get the opportunity for I be go now for go confirm whether they say Solobi be done die or not. So eventually as I reach time and get I see the cam with Nkai inside Motukai, and I interview, I say, but people they say, this rumor they go.
Smile.
I say, but you say are they alive? You say, look me, they send me Motukai, they go. But it's one of the reasons why I decide for let go, whether if he'll say win the election or not, decide for let go. It's about the peace of this country, and also the people of Sierra Leone, and also development. But how we politicians then forget our belief, say, it's about the people.
And all is not lost.
Yes, and there are other opportunities, So how we forget politicians and for understand that we know election at the end, one person get for win, one person get for lose. So how you for accept defeat and say, okay, I lose. Whether you thought things say the election will go in favor of you or something else happen around the election, but because of the people, the interests of Sierra Leoneans, you put them above all else. And you say, okay, let's forge ahead as a nation and move forward.
Remy, if you believe this, if you're a Christian or a Muslim, you believe, say, power. Now God now give power. Like how Solobi behave. If you believe, say, now God now give power. Now we they go work from us to go vote. But to God, if God say, I like now you win. If God say they turn around, say not to you win. Something must play. You understand? Something must play. You hear about the court marry a figure with Zainab Bangoya be announced over 400 police station and it's a council hall. Well, yes, well God say so person not they win. Somebody somebody go must make one statement no more, go make a lost election. Because not to for winner election day. You understand? So now that believe they always not a man forget say, this is not my time. And if not be your time, it can possibly say that you begin in time tomorrow. It can possibly say that you borrow in time. All of them are they come as flag bearers in various political parties. Their all intention is that for make the all win as president at the end of the day. Out of 14, 15, 16 political parties, they all want to be president. But I want them for be at a particular given time. In the interest of peace, just like how you say, in the interest of Sierra Leone, because let me tell you something. There are so many people who are dying now just because of this crisis holding. The health sector not go too strong. The electricity could get problem and so many other things because somebody was supposed for the make noise. In fact, let me tell you now, somebody tell you this today, say, is a civil society now, none of the opposition now. You understand? If you may not go want forget that kind of statement. But now like we and the journalists, now we are the opposition. Because if anything the government they do wrong now we then go for call for talk about them, for know whether a correct or a not correct. And the opposition get that strong power. Now it make me say the opposition is also part of governance. Because if the opposition already exists, then I want person nobody run the state. You know, when I go parliament, they say that this will be pass. Now free flow, now easy pass. You will sit there and acquire to say, no, I need to go work. You are responsible for that. Because if you not in the capacity of president, you must in the capacity as opposition, then in the capacity as chairman for A or B committee in a parliament. You go still play your own part. Can the young Kelabin come as flag bearer? Where you not succeed, you go to parliament, you go play another part in parliament. You understand? As a parliamentarian, I mean, talking on behalf of the entire country, because once you don't be a parliamentarian, you are not just a parliamentarian for that constituency you come out, but you're a parliamentarian for the whole country. Because something when a parliament for go debate, now I don't go for debate on them. Now I don't come on parliament, you don't get another responsibility. Because God still they say, from this time, you know you be president. From this other time again, you know they be prepared, and you know they be parliament, now elsewhere you go there. They go let the push and say, who knows? Sometimes one day they get for be president. But that time where God not great, as they say, if God want make you be president, he must do something for make you be president at that time. Once he want for within a twinkle of an eye, it happen. Look what happened. Good luck, Joneka and others. They are vice president. They can't enough for be president. Some man don't go be president for one term. God say no, you know you're for there for 2 terms. And they come out and they pull up. So now we always put we hope and trust to Papa God in heaven. And now we put we country first. Now we put we people in first, because at the end of the day, if you're a flag bearer, you're a president, you interest that for able for promote the people in. Let the people in lives and change. So now we still there behind, we still there in dark. We are not moving as a state. You know, sometimes at the pass street, so you buy the what they call UIB stone. Somebody old crepe in hand. He said, brother, sell this crepe, he said, because I go eat. You can imagine very frustrating food at this hour of the day. Young man, they tell you, say, he get crepe for sale, for make you go buy food for it. You know? So we really, really need to do something. Like the agriculture, the president don't count so now. This agriculture, one for time, we are just tight. Somebody just called me today, say, so if you get for dinner television any day, he said, I don't go to bow, I don't plant up to 2 acres of rice farm. 2 acres. He said, but I don't talk to the director for agriculture na bow. He said, he said the reason dry down 200 acres. He said, but what I go, then they charge me 3.5 million for harvest the rest per day. Are we serious? If being a president, I either talk that they sack the director of agriculture with immediate effect. 3.5 million per day if you are going to harvest for 30 days. Now how much, Andy? If you sell RS, you're going for pulling money. You don't go just discourage and just say, no, let me forget about agriculture. So we have to be very serious. The president don't go put you on again for go launch. These students don't call them no partners. But the president will put proper mechanism in place. And some of them say, oh, they can't talk so in public. Make a get people when they take note of them and probe them, go find out if not true or not lie. Let's go investigate. Otherwise, if you see them, this food business, so they talk about, they just start like a whole nonsense and nothing for talk about. He has to be very strong because there are so many reckless people. So many reckless people in this country. How you can charge 3.5 million for harvester, for renter, and at the person get for buy field. When that machine go even and bomb for buy parts, they're not going for buy parts. So we have to be very. There are so many issues where for make the opposition come up. If the opposition not come up, then say we go begin for swear them. No, on a very serious note, because they have the kind of issue as an opposition for tell. The opposition now go come on a parliament, then go discuss on a seriously. If we are serious about this agriculture, these are some of the things that will not begin come up. 4 months down the line, somebody don't get 200 acres of rice. They want to harvest them. Then they tell us, say, for pay 3.5 million per day, then the person buy fear. Are we serious? So these are some of the things we make opposition for day. For help government. Opposition help government. Opposition help the country.
All right, I'll come back to William Saul. I'll bring in Melvin Tijanman from Parliament, and you know, all of the plead, you know, by the government is about governance and see how the opposition can come back into governance and key among the governance structure of Parliament. And you know, yesterday, Dr. David Senge, they say. In just wish after the dialogue, the opposition members of parliament can go back to parliament and for start the work for critique government, you know, projects them and laws them, and also you know, some of the things that we get for the kind of parliament. And they talk about and the review of the constitution. You see, all of that get for look into you know, proper critique, and the opposition gets a pivotal role for play inside parliament, regardless the number, but them presence alone can change a lot of things in parliament. But with this ongoing dialogue, and their hope that the opposition can go back in parliament, and even Dr. Samora say, if waiting they ask for, they're reasonable enough and they're able to agree on that, there are possibility of seeing the opposition going back, participation into governance, and care among the governance structure. It's parliament to say we law that they make, and also agreements and it take place for develop the country. But what are you taking to that?
Well, from the parliamentary standpoint, I think we for no say we now get effective democracy without a formidable opposition, because opposition is part of governance. Opposition exists for shape political willingness. Like you see, our government in waiting. And if you read section 35(1) and other subsections, it tell you what's the role of political parties. Not even mentioning government or opposition, but political parties. As it stands for the dialogue, let's just be contextual. I want attempts to be very conflict neutral and sensitive in my comments, because if negotiations are ongoing, civil society and journalists, how will they frame the agenda itself will influence the process. So I want to try, perhaps I will disappoint people them where they expect him who can be very, very or extremely critical. These are very serious times. Remember, we don't sit down here for weeks or months and say there was no mediation, there was no dialogue, and people were denying us, and now we should be really sure God don't make it on be. It's a positive step. It shows that, like I always say, we still not give up it on processes. Despite it means say we need for rebuild confidence in state institutions, because outside confidence of it enough, somebody not go say another go court. Somebody not go say therefore remove Chief Justice, Electoral Commissioner, Head of Police, and all those things. So moving forward, I think there is an urgent need for reconstruct public trust in institutions moving ahead. If not, every election, unfortunately, we might be seeing such. So the big picture there is institutional reforms, be it from ECSL, be it from the Constitution, and all those aspects. And for me, I think with regards to the negotiation, the big elephant in the room is the election. Na Uda winner, anybody be winner, and if that's the case, I think that is the first point. Establishing whether there were any irregularities, firstly, and how they affect the results, and whether the results reflect, that should be on the bargaining table. But of course, we already don't get insight into some of the demands of the main opposition, demands for this aggregated data, release of persons under detention, dropping of some court matters, and all of that, payment of benefits and the likes. Well, all of these are positions. Apparently, we still struggle with what is the government's position. And there is a huge disjunct, then Bookman can say, where people in the attempt for say, this is a case between the ECSL or government versus that of the APC. Let's be blunt here. Until and unless the government takes a position on this one, whether it is in support of ECSL or it is just doing its business, but it's it will be very, very ambiguous for let the government say they are far from ECSL. And of course, we don't want to be realistic no more, but this should be a dialogue, as we don't see from the composition of committees, the 9-man committee them, we can talk about. This, if we want to be frank, this is a dialogue between APC and SLPP. If you want to use any semantics, where you want to argue me, the simple fact is, if you write about government, or you say the governing Sierra Leone People's Party, you cannot divorce that. So it's the SLPP that is in government, and it's the SLPP party that has attempted to hold the brief for ECSL, and now Usai Denge for day in this one. So I think the government's position is for be clear on this one. Of course, the government don't clearly state that they want to see an end to the boycott. But at what expense? I know you read the government, they talk that it's other than let everybody look at the bigger picture. A critical point for note, I was expecting to see Mada Bio, the president of Sierra Leone, who is the head of government of Sierra Leone, to be at that occasion with that of Dr. Samoa Kamara. I think it takes little away from the process itself. Mind you, we hear from Dr. Samoa Kamara saying after they don't engage, President Bio and himself see the need for dialogue. So my question is that why then two man they are elected for symbolic opening ceremony, they not be there na this occasion. Yes, some people in our government say, the part be they put down, they go commission, the feed salon. But I ask myself, political stability and food security at this moment, who's one for take preeminence? And I think that was a big missed opportunity then again on the side of the government, especially the president. Of course, the chief minister, well, I wonder again why the vice president not be did it, because the chief minister is not the principal assistant to the president. So perhaps the government need for tell we more on that. But I think Dr. Senga did well in explaining the government's position, and he was sounding reconciliatory no matter what you say, and that's quite important for the process. The big question, will the APC abort the boycott? That is one. On whose grounds then go abort the boycott? And I think say then they will not go there and we're not inside the room now. But another thing for look at Remy is that we not for run away from the impact of the role of international observers in all of this. When I see the EU report, I ask myself, is this report timely? Yes, on one hand, because they may promise after preliminary and will come with the full report, which is clear. But looking at that report coming, I think a day or two before the commencement of the negotiation, was that or is that helpful to the process? That can be something again. But as with the dialogue, don't forget, this is a dialogue between, I don't talk APC and SLPP. You will call it government of Sierra Leone, but I know it's the governing SLPP that are in charge. This is a dialogue between the law and morality. The one that inside that room, they let them know that. This is a dialogue between trust and mistrust. This is a dialogue between government and opposition. This is a dialogue between rationality and proportionality. Looking at all those themes, then we'll tell you, say, this, nobody not assume, say, an easy ride dialogue. I see like I want to say, it's almost like an hostage negotiation, wherein Sierra Leone is the hostage. The people of Sierra Leone, now we are at hostage. From where election done, months now, still there is no political stability. So for me, I think the one way they negotiate with inside the room, then they therefore look at like waiting the lead facilitator say the bigger picture Sierra Leone, but again, how those demands will be reflective of national interest, then for keep that balance there, because at the heart of this is a disagreement between two political rivals and not necessarily ordinary Sierra Leoneans. That it don't reach that level there with the Sierras.
Yesterday, after we come up into man, one of my friends really talked to me about certain things, and he say, in a situation, after the end of the entire process, then you have to sign a communique, and the communique will go out now whether the opposition agree for going to governance and participating to governance, and whether the ruling government agree for looking to the demands of the opposition. And obviously, then again will come out clearly that we are going into parliament come on Monday, and we resume all we involvement to governance. We are going to council, we are going back to parliament, and this, and government don't agree, and government say don't agree, say, well, we for solve them problem, they are always the opposition or raise, or then demands there, we think say this no go somehow good enough for the country, but we will solve them, look at this and then change it. And the issue about trust and honesty, you know, when we go into some of them agreements and I think the lead facilitator or mediator of this process, the former vice president of Gambia, and you know, she was very outspoken and she make them very clearly that even if we go into this dialogue, but we got to be honest with ourselves going into dialogue. We can agree and say, now this now we think so we're going into the dialogue. You know, and after we don't put things in together, we don't agree. They at the end, which we all agree for, we all work in the interest of the agreement and you also advise them that let them go into the dialogue with the interest of the people. And therefore be honest, say this may demand what they ask for, not the interest of the people. And I think say if we get this demand right, obviously development could come. And also government will say, well, if we are accepting a demand, that the interest of the people because we want development for Fojai. And you know, Dr. David Seng was very honest enough for say, if the opposition will go back in a parliament, for let government, you know, things work, it will be very challenging.
Very, very challenging.
He said because you need the opposition.
Yeah, but
you know,
I find I'm very what I would call inconsistent.
For most parts.
And the government for be consistent, they carry everybody, they say the opposition for be sincere and realistic. I find it inconsistent because they be saying, President Bio first talk this, that nobody not get two-third majority, maybe they address the opening, maybe they address the states of the, maybe they deliver the state of the nation. Say there is a critical need for urgent dialogue, where no political party gets two-thirds majority. But where do I find this? Well, and I want for use every diction, which I find very disturbing. Now, wherein Dr. David Senga on that day, they tell you, say, the government alone cannot do it without the opposition in participation. In contrast, you get the Speaker of Parliament where they tell you, say, now time they don't so, if na noka, now so and so. Is that conflict-sensitive position? But, so the government is
but at the same time, even though the chief minister they say that, he say we for do everything within the law. So I know it's a dialogue, and Dr. Samuel Kamas have mentioned that. So we will go into dialogue then in the select or elect acting mayor for the Freetown City Council. He said also, and you know, all of that. But even as that, the chief minister say we got to do everything within the law. So if it's
not by the law no more. If not by the law no more, we not for bigger peace na saloon. We not for be go negotiate with this and come.
I know.
If not by the law
no more. And let me be very careful where we argue this thing here, because if you are emphasizing the arguments on the law, technically you are supporting the government and ECSL position. Is that what we need for the dialogue? So if people, everybody go with Trump card that they not intend for softening their stance or reach a middle ground, there will be no solution. And what will be disastrous if this negotiation fail, the situation go times or triple worse than what it is. Because they again go for cancer can mediate. So time not on both sides, but we should be very careful. I will tilt the argument. It's called conflict neutral communication. Because if you can't say the law, the law is not by the law, well, we sign a for go settle. Because ECSL will always say we are not compelled by law to provide disaggregated data. So by the law, that means they say a settlement not for the day. So we have to keep a fine balance between the law and what is reasonable.
A compromise.
Of course. Because even for the law, no more for the sanko, after we don't chop people and we are here. If we get a big office na you building. So we should be very careful not to further embolden or undercut any one panel position. Let them just understand that if all man say they make pow, all man make majiji, they might not come out with nothing from the process. And it will be very consequential on every side, on the side of the government, on the side of the opposition. I think for now, that's getting business. Like waiting David Senge talk or like waiting Mother Biodon talk, and that's Sunday we need. But if you hear people and the man they talk peace, they preach war, it's ironical and it cannot work like that. Therefore, really
it's really difficult.
So, I mean, the president is committed,
yes,
for peace. And obviously, somebody be the say if the president be one peace, like where the opposition be asked, say, we need external mediators them for come on board, and obviously you get to take permission from the president. Say, Mr. President, this dialogue would go on. We don't ask people and the opposition on say that we carry people outside people for come.
If you forget for reject,
they can say
if you
no.
not want.
But they said the president wholeheartedly say yes, it's good that we get outsider if that is the case for the entire issue resolved. Let's get outside. It shows commitment. And
me not just really know what are the problem with some people, some individuals get against Marabio. Marabio get his own style. Not a person with the talk boku. Now his own style. I think from back. Na person not even boku talk no more. Again, your own way to do your own thing. You understand? Eh? But hopefully say like say that person will not like peace. Me, are they confused? Because at the end of the day, small, they go to a place like Shebima and Daru. When they say young people in a football field, they play. By there, I think he was a captain or so. That man, they go inside football field. If they go there, the one then can't see anything. I like the pass for go Daru. He must break like Shebima. For make sure say he go to that field. If now the kick-off step, he kick off for just stay with young people and for let them feel say yes, they are almost the same. You understand? Eh? This decision, when both the government and the APC, they take so now, that a difficult decision because one, posterity they be in this one. Because tomorrow, election will come back, other policies are not agree. Means they get my own conditions. If we not get this condition, we need to agree for let this government run. So means one time we go for end up for just get one party state now. Because somebody will say, no, we not agree on this. In fact, if you make me vice president, if you make against some cabinet ministers, if you not agree, I don't agree. Then if you end up agree and forget about the constitution, put it aside, and agree, posterity. Tomorrow again, somebody go for win clean and say no, I don't agree. Now, even some of the things that the APC they say now, we get people who are prisoners, they are in prison. But most of them play up then riot or then crisis then the APC always they say not to send them, not to part of we. They're not a part of we. Now, the APC they say let them free some of the people who are in prison. You don't understand it in a few months, not all people them. Government they say they want the way they hold the Pademba road. When they go for go make statement na CID, they may say now the name, for example, William Saul Amin. Not to William Saul Amin, APC. Now William Saul Amin, full stop. They take the statement, they investigate them, they're in a prison. You understand? As William Saul Amin. Now, if the APC they say no, some of the party people them, they're in a prison, they're behind bars. And the same APC they don't say there were not all people who are lawlessness and the discipline, not to who send them. You understand? So the whole thing is a little conflicting. The only thing what they say is they only take the grace for the president and the opposition leader for give and take for certain years, like what Kuman can say for certain years, bet fat foot. Just in the interest of peace. When you want to forget peace, you got for certain years. Like the last time for this encore, they bring some man in a cabinet. So we don't get man for shake the hand. Because if you see they say na bush them come out and get karambana the hand. You understand? And they can't put on this government and say no, let them be ministers. They make the president, the former leader as then get vice president status. They even disarmed the agriculture minister by then. I think Harry Will, I can remember. Who said for don't take small? Harry Will can get a very nice Jeep. Now be Nissan Patrol, broad one so, green one against something like gold at the edge, big and fine Nissan Patrol. Then the someone from the Minister of Agriculture. Then pass amount to this uncle. Then get vice president status. You understand? Eh? We're not in the constitution. It was very difficult because the Iranians were frowned. People, Mr. Vex. How this man would don't kill some of the papa the way die in a rebel and make them die with so many things. On this man, the can't put in this kind of status. No, it's not correct. You understand? Eh? But so it be, now so it be that time. Tijan Kaba said, no, now so we go. We go that time. The day like today, we're enjoying the peace. So we only want make APC not make too much difficult conditions. Say no, like this one, if we not get this, we say for not agree. Then we'll continue for go and this go slow. And this go slow will affect the free healthcare. The go slow will affect the free quality education. The go slow will affect even the agriculture with the president just launched. It will affect it. Because governance, now we all, including we as civil society and journalists, we all are part of governance. Now we are part of the place so now. The governance, the media and the are the fourth estate. We are the fifth estate. We are all part of governance. So if we know they are civil society, journalists they're not there, the parliamentarians they're not there, the judiciary not there, not the government. So we all get a role for play. And that make we have to accept one another. We got to calm down in the interest of peace, in the interest of... We want to see the mayor from McKinney, the mayor from Freetown, take this agricultural business, they put on a head, and they pass it. Now, President Leone ain't pronounce her. But now for the people of Sierra Leone, why they feed the people of Salou? They don't say feed the people of Kailau. They say feed the people for Salou. You understand? So everybody for join the line for make sure say they propagate them because it come up from no less a person but the first gen to manage the country. If we do so, tomorrow, all the government in power, we go for them be opposition say no, you go for join. Because national business, national business.
Of course. And I'll come back to you, Melvin. You know, it's careful right now because we need to join the Ministry of Information and Civic Education press conference today. And, you know, as usual, every Tuesday they can get a press conference, you know, discuss on issues where, you know, national concern. But Melvin, today at day 2 of the dialogue, and yesterday I understand, say, they're not coming up into humanity until after 11.
Wow.
And Nanette. And it shows commitment because if then the people will not be willing, obviously, me not go in our house.
No, not possible.
Say 11 o'clock, Nanette. He said, but you know, then they not been to money until after 11. You know, before they turn back and understand. Say this morning back, then go there for continue the 2 of the dialogue. And obviously, me believe say they get for the other back because today na the key day for letting them come into conclusion agreement that okay, we let's go, all money let's go. This is what we agree on, and we move on as a country. So, what would you expect for Sina within this remaining 2 days, you know, of the dialogue? And obviously, we can't keep the mediators away then come outside for a very long time.
No.
Then demand that by tomorrow then for the round up, the following the old man and go back to the country because they get a busy schedule as well. And that is very key. And also, you know, this morning I asked Dixon about, you know, and see the opposition also put out a press release where say, why would they go into this mediation? Would they call on the Interreligious Council for pray for Salon so that we go before get the peace, you know, and the outcome of the dialogue for be successful were very key at the end.
Interesting, you know, Sierra Leoneans, we are religious people. So if this a general lawyer, Dumbuya, they say, we for pray. First, I was skeptical, but now I understand why. Because it's going to be a very dicey negotiation. And you need God for such people and we get stone hearts. But now God no more the church, the hearts of kings. This situation, so if all man going to make pow, going to make caravan business, you know, so you need divine intervention. But a lot of people forget, Sierra Leone is not a secular state. And some people they say, God give you aid, for long and boga. So, that's the way God did come up heaven and canon like Moses inside. It don't pass. Now he gets what they call moral guarantors. You get religious people. The irony with the APC their statements, then they not call on Interreligious Council, they call on believers, people and Christians and Muslims. So I asked myself, why not the Interreligious Council? So looking at that statement and looking at the mediation itself, I think say institutions like the Interreligious Councils, clergies, therefore examine their role in democracy now. Because it's a big spice, it's a big slap on their face that in all of this, we not get nobody know for trust them for come on board and mediate the process. So that's now one area. Moving forward, we need for strength and trust in the institution and they. But definitely, God pass all, and like I don't say, some certain stony hearts that God normally would suffer. And in this case, even to some of the ordinary salon people and sisters, when they watch, we comment them. Some man on one piece. So we need for pray and fast to them people and they let God church the hearts that this will see the bigger picture, say, that political stability and peace we want. Other than that, the one waiting at the table, of course, they know waiting they want. We hope that firstly, they go for get a comic, they go for reach a community. If they can reach a community, then we will say it might be a win-win. And of course, we look forward to the report. Waiting the report, they say, waiting for the recommendations, waiting at the observations, because they don't talk to all players. I've just given one report when they even meet with Dr. Ernest Baikoroma. I would tell you, moving forward, there is no way we can take it away. People like Dr. Ernest Baikoroma, they almost be part of this process. You like it or not. He's willing a lot of political influence. He has got a very strong grip in the APC. And even when he's behind the scene, I think getting commitments from him. We need people for show commitments, but not to that kind, commitment. You know, say yebe up the coal under WAM. We see him for elections. They say people and be sign say with Commonwealth, then go explore all legitimate processes. But when the election done, one party no go court. So forget the communicating one. For implement them with sincerity and goodwill is another thing. And that's why I go on for end on the note that President Bio is the president of Sierra Leone, for willing, for tell in team, and need to look forward at least on the last day, let President Bio the I look forward for see people like Dr. Anes Baikoma for the day. You know, other big states, them people are need for day. When they them presence alone, they speak a lot. But how now you go down call peace talk, you call neighbor them for cancer to now, they know the. So President Bio himself that side, he need for show more commitment, and he for talk to some of the officials, they already had some institutions like parliaments more. Learning, you know, if they make peace with the threats, that person not going to believe. All man not say the opposition, they are obstructionists, yes, but we need to get a middle ground, and that's why I want to take also for call on Dr. Kamara and in team again for let them see the bigger picture. Of course, the big elephants in the room will be the elections results. But we pray that God will give them divine wisdom, as Emma Simbi don't say, that they go see from the bigger picture, which is the country and the humanity. Other than that, we are all hopeful, and definitely we hope that something good will come out of this and things will return back to normal. Because the cost, somebody they talk about the law, say we for shelve the law. Well, let's uphold the law now. Let's continue for Miss MCC Compact. Let's continue for uphold the law now. Let's continue for wallow in visa ban. You know, we count the cost. Not all things I keep on saying. Even the law, that's why it's subjected to review. If you just hold on the law not say so, the law not say so. Something and the law not say so, but for the sake of tranquility and peace, you get for lucky eye and bed fat. I keep on saying, if people are not for be set here, Pakabari of blessed memory, may your soul rest in perfect peace. If you're not for be shelved in political ego, there is no way that for be negotiated with RUF, considering the havoc where they're at. But that's what negotiation is all about. That's what peace building is all about. This for make Ulan say, a better for consolidate peace than for build peace. See how long it take now for build the peace? Where is now consolidation, not for below reach here, for below address all the issues before, during, and after elections. So moving forward, we hope for the best, and thankfully the process is ongoing. We wait for updates from the media and civil society standpoint. So we will for make the people understand. Because the one that we negotiate, so let them not forget, then get them supporters them for go talk to. If you keep them too much in the dark, you get that way to Holland, where in there for dirty the water na so when they don't want to see peace in this country, they want to see anarchy na. So then one way they mediate, they forget, and they expect them forget communication unit or communication person there. But right, every day you can't brief, not all to you, but just brief on the process. Yeah. Because if we wait till last minute, let some man not begin can lie, some man can begin and send this net, begin pull audio, all for undermine the process. So information communication, it should be as flowing as it should be for let we avoid any trade people and can begin skew at the end of the day.
I know the Peace Commission for take the lead for updates, the public, but I think the chief mediator, the former vice president of Gambia, caution the two political parties and for refrain from social media for now, because they say now part of the problem, because after we all long we don't talk now, then we go on social media. We go put them in your way. And at the end, if we don't agree on something, then I go mock the person we don't agree on, say, but they ask you for this, but we know they look them. At the end, what's going to happen? You ask for the one, and you're going to think, say, no, nice for they're going to agree.
Yeah, I agree with the Peace Commission that you need for restrain information flow at this time. But at the same time, for overdo it. Because if you overdo it, you create space for fake news.
We just think that the Peace Commission for take the lead for update, but the chief mediator say the two political parties for refrain from social media issue where he thinks say can spark out that kind of debate where we can enjoy the end of the.
No, they can update the people by not giving too many details.
Yeah, but it's the commission role.
At the end of the day, what you want for escape, it might be the case. All man will begin claiming say, we win, now we win. And not forget the reports not for be secrets.
Of course.
So in as much as the mediation should be in closed doors, like how we see all over the world, but that doesn't mean to say one of the lock the mouth, one of the opening the mouth, not for people can address the press in 1 or 2 minutes. That's what best practice all across the world is saying. If not, you go left a room for suspicion, a room for conjectures, a room for what we call mudslinging, victory claiming, and all those things. So for avoid that, of course, they need to talk to the people. Mind you, someone can have land experience and that similar for their land experience because they support them very not get that kind of patient day. You keep them too much in the dark, somebody there now will go feel and perceptions and the impression about the process. Similarly, so for SLPP, you get people in a SLPP back when a diet will not believe say them for going and do a board. You keep them in too much suspense, then go begin make conjectures out of it. So information is key in all of this for the people not in the dark.
Okay. William Saul, I mean, as we close.
Let me just believe say for every committee they must get a TOR where they will don't put in place.
Of course.
Waiting for be the whole thing before they even start. Before some people even show interest. For that chief mediator even come, they must do agree on some certain things. And when you don't agree on some certain things, when I begin jump behind that in before the meeting itself, I mean, that don't begin create the conflict already amongst the peace mediators. One of the things that women brother rightly say is that either the start or the end, we expect Dr. Ernest Baikroma and His Excellency the President, if it not be the first day, but at least the last day, let it just go this briefly, shake hand, rub skin together. Then they say go give some confidence to the two parties there. You understand? What are the very key? May I believe say President Bio still have a followers. Me if they put box now for President, former President Kroma with Dr. Samoa Kamara for let them just vote for any kind of election. Dr. Ernest Baikroma they beat Samoa Kamara. Now. Then they get confidence. So because no, not to Marabi on side. Not to Marabi on side. But I'm an opponent. Former president, I'm internal business. You know what I say so? President Kroma still get followers. There is no joke about it. You understand? Me still believe say President Kroma and followers and just now can give support to Dr. Samora. So then two people here, the president and the former president, if they never any program, more especially a program like this, they give a lot of boost. And not of the normal, you get another additional opposition where they say play pivotal role to this election. You see Kande, you see the interreligious council, the head, the president or whatever they call her, for the interreligious council, the parliament, the judiciary, the head of the judiciary. They all have a pivotal role in this discussion.
But I think it's good.
Maybe we're not considering all inside it. President not going for 3 days, parliament committee is not possible. Get some other public assignment there. You understand? But if you go there for just 30 minutes for 1 hour, even if at the closing, then shake hands with everybody. We see when the new American ambassador invites both parties then to a dinner. Then picture they don't go far on social media. Just because they see saying the chief minister and Cherry Coco and Dr. Samoa Kamara, they shake hands, they tap and they talk. In fact, Dr. Senge tells us everything I insist about so. Then Samoa Kamara married. So because of all of their intermarriage and their inter-thing, the way they play religious business, people will see themselves as Sierra Leoneans will come together. So we expect by the grace of God forget a fruitful deliberations. We know say the witch man and the cocoa there, they sit on a corner and they wait. This they say let this not be, that they say let this one not be. So the whole thing was scattered again. Yeah. We pray to the Almighty God.
Governor Clark's in prayer.
Governor Clark's in prayer. Anybody will wish that this peace talk not go hold water, we swear upon Governor Clark's in prayer. Because want to see this country move. Finally, the Minister of Agriculture, I don't get small complaint. I want to see you tomorrow. I don't even get your phone number. I got to go meet you in person. For us talk about this young lady we don't farm 200 acres. A lady now Bow District, 200 acres. Now all the rest on dry. They want to harvest the rest. The rest more than they pay it up. She is so frustrated. They don't spend over 400 to 500 million and so many other costs. The director of agriculture now Bow don't say, Paupa now 3.5 million. And now when they say, they harvest the rest, they pay again 3.5 million. They have to pay workers. They have to do this. They're not going to make anything from that investment. So do you have, Mr. Minister, talk to the director. Of course, I will send text to you this net. Then tomorrow, I want kind of your office. Do you have I want open door? That office, then I will get them. It's not only vote for president. If people don't vote for President Bio, they're not going to appoint you as minister. Right. So please allow it because this is very, very sensitive.
And Melvin Tijaman say, and we wish I will see the former president, Dr. Ernest Baikroma, and His Excellency the President, retired Brigadier Julius Madabio, attend the final leg tomorrow.
Yes, let them shake hands, they rub skin together.
And the two people get influence. Retired Brigadier Julius Madabio get influence to his political party, and the first gentleman, and the leader as well. And as Kroma self,
the first leader of his party.
Of course. So everybody, that kind of motivation, everybody going at the all. Sure. That kind of synergy.
Whether the white gown, the way they
I know.
I think madam, you know, fits and also.
Yes.
And I again, you white one. As someone I'm going to tell her for do better for her in the next one.
I like it.
Thank you very much. And thank you very much, William Salamin. Well, I also wear this edition of News and Current Affairs. I know the debate on the conversation in our social media heavily. And
this discussion for the go on take tomorrow next tomorrow.
Of course, yes, obviously, for the bigger, because everybody's in for the top.
But I don't know how people really can begin influence this situation badly.
No, of course, because
anybody that
can begin take side.
The focus is about peace and national
exactly.
And because one will see tomorrow end up peacefully, and you know, and we also get at least the weekend for sweets.
Yeah, for sweets.
For sweets, sure. You know, how for sweets now we know say yes. The APC
and some of you are Mondays, so some of you are bad Mondays. This October month for sweets, they are big.
Of course, definitely. All right, well, as for the this edition of News and Current Affairs show this day, and this day will return again tomorrow, same time here on AYV Television on Channel 33 and on the radio on 101.7 FM. And the Facebook conversation is about everybody seem for the bring their own APC, SLPP issue about saying, you know, election or whatever. So now make a conversation. We talk about peace. How we for move sailing forward. It's about the conversations. We appreciate always sending a message and wish you guys all the best. And because of the conversation, we can't go to all of them because we want to keep the conversation tailored, you know, with the trend of peace and national cohesion and the dialogue going on at the Bintumani, you know, center, you know, inside Freetown.